35192 to send a text if you want to do that. We're going to have the Poundcake sports break a little bit later on, around 5:20. The Poundcake podcast is up for you at alancoxshow.com and also on the iHeartRadio app. It's called Everybody Getting Sued. And it's him talking about the Jussie Smollett thing. He's going to the mat.
Travis Scott and
Marilyn Manson. Yeah. He's going to the mat for Jussie Smollett.
There's not a lot of evidence for...
Out at like 3 in the morning in this neighborhood in Chicago. He was hungry, so he went to Subway. Okay? They have restaurants, especially Subways, that are open 24 hours. So it's not fishy that he wanted food, but he's rich enough that I'm sure his apartment building had concierge service where they could have just brought him something from the restaurant downstairs. I'm sure they had room service, but maybe he had a craving for Subway. Okay.
Does he think does he think he stays at a hotel?
Well, some people do. If they're in town shooting a show, they will put you up in a hotel. So I get that point. But if you live in an apartment building that has a restaurant downstairs, they're not serving food at 3 in the morning.
Room
is
service.
The point. Well, I assume he meant if they were putting him up in a hotel. Because they shoot, he doesn't live in Chicago. They shoot Empire in Chicago. That's my understanding of it. So anyway, the whole thing is there. Unfortunately for him, Bill sent us something to the group chat a little bit earlier.
He's on the phone getting
Yeah, I know he's on the phone. Yeah.
Pretty funny, though.
So he's in the Subway restaurant. He gets his sandwich, and then he comes out of the restaurant, and according to his account, he says that 2 white guys in Trump hats ran up on him and said, "Aren't you that N-word, F-word actor from Empire?"
I appreciate his restraint there, by the way. You know, his podcast, as podcasts are uncensored, he could say whatever he wants. And he didn't. He said, N-word, F-word. I think Poundcake takes the Jussie Smollett case personally. Mm-hmm. Because he identifies with him being black and gay.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can't fault him for that.
What did I miss?
I was playing a little clip of you kind of setting up the Jussie Smollett thing, and we were kind of chuckling because you think that apartment buildings all have restaurants on the ground floor.
No, not all
that
of them.
serve food at 3 in the morning.
Not all of them, but I imagine he lives in a high-rise condo where they can do that. If you pay that amount of money, there's a chef that can give you room service or someone. No, that no
He's
one
not
comes
staying
in
at the Ritz-Carlton.
If he was staying if they put him up at a hotel during the shoot, you could make a case for room service.
I think
but if they put you up in a condo,
but when you're making that case, you're also making the case that he could just have the Subway brought to him.
Absolutely, but that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, am I wrong? I mentioned you were still on the phone. I think we're wrapping up the call with the winner, but I said that I think that you take the Jussie Smollett case personally.
Yes, I do, and that's what I'm saying.
But why is that, though? Because I would think there would be other cases there would be better cases to plant your flag in than one where the guy, because of I mentioned
the mounting evidence against him. I get it.
Well, Bill sent the story to the group chat.
I didn't look at it.
Jury sees video of Jussie Smollett in dry run a day before alleged hate attack. He ran through it like he was calling a play on surveillance video.
He's an actor. He does rehearsals.
Why would you want to rehearse that? Why wouldn't you just go, look, guys, here's the money. Do it when you're going to do it. Here's where I'm going to be.
I want to be surprised.
I got to look natural.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't get. Does he not realize that? Is he that dumb where he doesn't realize that people are watching him? There are cameras there. Where the subway where you are, they have security cameras. You're in Chicago. Does he think he's smarter than everyone else? That no one's going to figure this out. That's why I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I don't want to believe it. I understand the evidence. I understand the facts. But I feel like there has to be something more, because no one, and I'm trying to give him credit here, no one is that vain. Like, no one is that.
Here's what I think. I think that some people are willing to roll the dice because they're surrounded by prominent people who do awful things all the time.
I'm sure.
And are never called for it, are never taken to task for it, whether it's politicians, whether it's captains of industry, whether it's actors, all kinds of prominent people who have the means and whatever to get out of whatever pickle they're in. And a guy like Jussie Smollett goes, well, I'm not getting the attention that I think I deserve. And given the tenor of the country at that time, I think he, and a lot of people believed him.
Rolled the dice.
A lot of people believed him because they wanted to. They wanted to. But again, you can't get your brain clouded just because there's something you want to believe. If you really
I understand it. That's why I said
broke it apart, you go, there's no way. And then what happens is you dilute something like this. The thing that sucks is you dilute cases where this is really happening to people. And I don't mean MAGA hats. I just mean people who are getting gay bashed or beaten up in public. Yeah, you're just diluting because you're some dope from a TV show.
And I understand that.
And didn't think you're already ahead of the game because you're on a network television show or, you're making a pretty good nut. He's like from a family of performers. His hot sister was on that, she's in Birds of Prey. She's in Lovecraft Country, that Journey Smollett. She's real cute. Who cares about Jussie? So maybe it was a family thing. This guy clearly didn't think he was getting the attention he deserved. And what a weird... And so combine that with going, of course people are going to think, playing to the stereotypes, of MAGA hat people or whatever. And if he had said, a couple of guys in a truck drove past, threw something at me, that's a story that people could believe. But there's not a lot of that story doesn't sizzle. Because anybody could be walking and somebody throw some crap out the window at him.
So you're thinking that the main motivator here is he just wanted attention?
That's what I don't understand.
That's why anybody does anything.
He knows what's at risk.
That's a really, really long way to go just to get your name in the headlines.
But when it first happened, it did get his name in the headlines, and people were talking about it. And so and he was so worried, he was so focused on that part of it. He's like, yes, I'm in the headlines, it's working. And at first it was, and then it started to unravel about a month later. It took a good couple weeks before people started poking holes in this.
And I'm not even saying I think it was necessarily nefarious. I think, given what was happening with, you're watching Trump and his ilk not care about anybody at all if he didn't look like him. And so here's a guy on television. He's black. He's gay. A, yeah, he wants some attention. B, there's probably some part of his brain that thought, I'm going to call attention to the plight of people who are treated poorly in this country. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was thinking that in his brain, or at least rationalizing it that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is all speculation. We don't know.
Yeah.
But then he gets on TV to do damage control, or not even damage control. He's doubling down, and he has all these pins like P flag and all this stuff. I'm like, you have to know what you're risking in that, because
nobody ever does. He's a single guy. It's not like he's a married dude. There's married dudes with kids who will go to the mat for something that they know isn't true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who knows? Now, again, it's not like the guy's going to get jail time, right? What's the...
the maximum sentence is 3 years in jail.
But what's the
For
charge?
what?
Filing a false police report?
I don't know. I just saw
Slander?
that.
But
No,
his
because the people aren't real.
No, they're real.
People. These
No,
two,
no, the two people who attacked him.
Oh,
He
right.
said the white guys or whatever.
Right,
those
right,
people
right.
don't exist.
No, but they were the black guys that he paid to attack him. So they're real.
And that's the thing. He didn't count on anybody finding the real murders. Finding the real culprits.
Guys, I'm gonna need to do a dry run tomorrow.
Look at Reno 911 when Nick Swartz.
Practice kill
What
me.
happened is I was murdered.
Yeah. I'm reading that somebody texted me that the Omicron variant is in the United States now.
California.
Yeah.
I just saw that in the break.
What do you think about that?
What is that? What's the difference? What's this one? More deadly and
They're
worse?
still trying to figure it out, but I think it's silly for people to get all freaked out about it. What do you think? Is Vegas setting any odds on the coronavirus variants? What's the over-under on Omicron versus Delta?
I'm over it. If that's what you're asking.
52
the
on black.
over-under.
The over-under is you're
I'm
over it?
it.
Yeah. Well, I think that, listen, viruses, as I understand them, obviously they mutate by definition, but also you've got to, when a new variant comes up, you've got to really, it's not like they get stronger and stronger and stronger. They have to compete with the preceding variant. So it can come over here and do all it wants to do, but it's still got Delta's like, hey, man, ain't going to get any worse than me. I ravaged this country. So understandably, people are nervous because, like you said, they're over it. They're like, ugh, whatever, you know?
I just get frustrated and upset, and
I'm just saying.
I feel bad for the band called Omicron. There's a couple of those, right? A band called Omicron just released an album a couple of months ago and they're like, yeah, guys, we're not...
I just immediately think of Futurama because one of the planets that they have beef with regularly is Omicron Persei 8. Mm-hmm. And so that's where my mind goes immediately.
I do have to say, though, I was up and through Mexico. I was in the airport, driving through the city.
Oh, you probably brought it here.
Thanks a lot, Poundcake.
Driving through the city, took ferries with a bunch of people, granted wearing masks, but still touching hands, spreading germs through the island. We wore masks when we were supposed to, but not really anything else, not in the pool. Nothing. Negative. And I was there for a week. Strangers I didn't know. So I just don't know.
But what's your point?
Yeah, what is your point?
How is it easy to get? I don't understand. I did not.
Well, you're vaccinated, so you might not. But you also could have gotten it the day before your test. So you take a test, negative, come home, and then it gestates. Takes a couple of days.
Because I was scared. Apparently, their policy was wherever
decapitation if you're positive.
No, they quarantine you obviously, but I think the resort pays for it.
I think they'd have to.
I didn't know that. I was like, ooh, well, I mean, I'm staying for free.
Yeah, but you can't go anywhere. You have to be in your room.
I'll sit on my balcony. Someone bring me weed. Something.
Hey, throw up some weed, homie.
Someone would do something. I'm sure they probably have a quarantine.
Play some of the band Omicron here.
And there's nothing we can do.
These guys were never going to get attention unless a coronavirus variant accidentally named after them.
You mean they were on people's Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah, Spotify Wrapped. Yeah, that's how I can tell that my son spends considerably more time there than I do, because my Wrapped is all like Drake and Young Thug, and I'm like, okay, cool, this isn't mine. There's, of course, because every cryptocurrency, there is a crypto coin for every name. Of course, there's a coin called Omicron, and they saw their value surge after this was in the news. I think we should. Here's what I think we should do. Why, let them have all the fun. Name the new variants after cryptocurrency. You know how they'll we need to, first of all, start coming up with, they have to come up with new names for the storms, the winter storms, summer storms, whatever, hurricanes. Name the new variants, because they're just going through the Greek alphabet, whatever, who cares? Skipped a couple there. Just name them after cryptocurrency.
I think we should name them after people that work in the video department. What do you call it now?
Oh, our video acquisitions and development department?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think a variant that was called Leroy Rafferty would be pretty interesting.
We have detected the Leroy Rafferty variant in the United States. The sushi swap variant has killed 12 people in Botswana. More worrisome, cum rocket has shown remarkable resistance to existing immunotherapies. So who knows?
But the Omicron one, it's not. We don't really know how bad it is yet.
No, they're still looking at it. They're like, look, it comes down to if you are unvaccinated. Those are the people who risk being put in the hospital, risk dying. They're like, yeah, okay, well, if you had your vaccines 5 or 6 months ago, you're going to want to get a booster. That's how vaccines work. You're going to want to get a booster.
Do need that booster. So
with the variants, they're like, yeah, I understand. They don't do a very good job of telling people, hey, we don't know too much yet, okay? So don't flip out. Don't start crapping your pants. This is another iteration of this. But nothing's going to be as bad as it was earlier this year or last year. It's not. So who knows? Nobody knows much of anything yet.
Why can't there be a variant that makes you stronger and faster?
Maybe it will.
Able to breathe better.
It enhances your lungs.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one of those.
And then all the people that didn't get vaccinated are like, oh.
Would you look at that?
How you like
Would
me
you look
now?
at
Yep. And of course, there's conspiracy theories, and you
What?
can't.
There is?
I'll tell you what. By the way, why are we letting everyone else have fun with conspiracy theories? Why aren't we just throwing some things out there and see if they take off? Why are we being so passive about the conspiracy theories?
You
I don't
wanna
know. I
make
feel
one
like
up?
Well, let's figure one out.
Okay.
I feel like spreading
Because it was
disinformation's not a good thing.
when the Omicron/Omicron thing started going around on Twitter, MAGA media was like, it's an anagram for moronic, which you go, okay, like it doesn't even make sense, but I see what you're trying to do there. But what's the equivalent of Q in the Greek alphabet?
I have no idea.
Well, it's Kappa.
Oh.
It was started as Kappa, but Kappa. But originally Q came from the Greek letter Kappa. What does that remind you of? Kappa.
Cop a feel.
Kappa Field. Boom. Trump is still president.
Oh.
So there's your conspiracy theory. So get
I was
that out
thinking
there.
King Koopa from Mario.
From Mario Kart.
Yeah, maybe he's in there. He's a lizard person. You never know.
All the Q nuts, right? They believe that like anytime they see 17, that's code because Q is the 17th letter in the alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
What's the 17th letter in the Greek alphabet?
I don't know.
Any fraternity people?
No.
17th letter in the Greek alphabet is Rho.
V. Wade.
Boom, Trump is still president.
Overturn it.
So what else is Rho?
Boats.
Row your
Rosie
boat.
O'Donnell.
Oh, Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell. O'Donnell sounds like Donald. Boom, Trump is still president. I'm telling you, get these things out there. See if we can run with them. We've got new reports on the fatality rates from Dracula Token. I'm telling you, just take all those dumb crypto names and start attaching them to
And
coronavirus variants.
Who's playing Dracula in a new movie? Nick Cage. Nick Cage stole what? The Constitution.
Oh,
National
Kids were in
treasure.
cages.
that's
Kids
right.
are in cages. Boom. Trump's still
Boom.
president.
Yep. Cage is playing Renfield, isn't he? He's not playing Dracula. He's playing
whatever.
Renfield, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some vampire. Whatever.
Listen, as long as they put him in a cape, I'm there. I'll pay $9. I got a break. If you want to get a text for anything, 35192 to do that, and you can listen wherever you are on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.